a decently paced firefight. Let's say some of the firefight were really long range, and as Dick pointed out, the weaponry you have right now is really difficult to handle. These are not the standard AK you're using. Some of you are using an even older model with the forward grip, which is a shit show to fire at more than 300 meters. So yeah, most of the firefight were quite difficult in that regard. Overall, I think the best firefight you had when you was when you were down in the valley. I did not expect you to go through so much of the mountain range. There was more paths available to stay lower and to have like more ground to play with, let's say. But that is something that I need to think about when I'm making the mission itself.
AFK for a minute.
Yeah, maps like these are hard to read from.
Yeah, they're hard
just
to read.
looking at a piece of paper.
I think I should give more hints about the intended path. Let's say.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, let me speed through it a tiny bit. Okay, that's the prep. That's you being looted in. Okay, that's you dismounting at Karashinar. The earlier part went really well. You moving in Karashinar and fighting the militia went, I think, great. One of the building was stacked with quite a lot of people. You managed to deal with them very quickly.
It's quite heavily desyncing for me this turn.
Yeah, the more data there is, the harder the AR is going to run. One of the AI actually snuck up on you in that building, Dick. He went down the ladder, basically, and I think someone got him while you were outside.
I got him. Me.
There's quite a pile of bodies outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bottom of the ladder as I was just picking them off because they were coming down.
I see a big increase in the amount of bullets we throw at the enemy.
Yeah, there was a lot of that's why you struggle, I think, with the amount of bullets you had. And one thing I would suggest is if you do not have MG assistant with you as the PKM, as the machine gunner, pick the auto rifleman instead, because the PKM cannot be reliably used if you don't have an MG assistant, because he's carrying like twice the ammo you're carrying. You definitely need that to keep up the pace. Like the PKM is not cost effective in terms of ammunition. The auto rifleman with the RPK is actually way better because you have the same amount of magazine as a normal rifleman, but those are 60 bullet magazines.
That's the biggest waste of ammo I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, this is something that made you consume quite a lot of ammunition.
Meanwhile, blue team's sitting up there.
You see, blue team is like, no, we're not wasting our ammo on that bullshit.
Yeah, you were further up the hill. There was no point.
Even down there, it was
already
400.
like, far away to engage that play. And at that point, for some reason, in the city, those two fucking car collapsed together and just blew up.
Lucky we didn't see that one. But Harry's getting murdered in 3, 2, 1.
Oh yeah, he didn't see them.
I didn't see one of them for a long time either.
Run away!
And that squad, you didn't see them until the last second either.
Yep.
You were focused, but they were like
guys coming up at me,
really in front of you when you actually saw them.
At that area, there's these very tiny bushes, but they're completely blocking any view.
That and the dead ground, the steepness of the hill didn't allow you to.
You basically have to really expose yourself to shoot down the hill.
But yeah, indeed, initially when I designed this.
Can you see that marker I'm placing?
No.
I don't think so. But yeah, when I designed this, I thought you would go. Basically, you wouldn't take the road, but you would push south of the militia marker, go through the mountain, and arrive in the back of that bunker that was so annoying for you to deal with. Basically, you've used that bunker as an anchor to start fighting for the town itself.
Oh, we didn't know the bunker would be there.
No. I
Yeah.
know, but I didn't thought at any point that you would go across the road, basically, since you had a straight path using the terrain to arrive to Ravenai without having to cross the road. Yeah,
That right now explains why it felt like we were under a lot of fire.
you were under a lot of fire. I mean, I made the entire town leave their garrison and pursue you in the mountains.
Thanks for that.
Best time of my life.
Ah, and you just spawned some more in as well.
No, they
Oh,
crawled out of a hole in the
that
ground.
the unit I just spawned is the one that was shadowing you. I made them use the valley to basically follow your path. And
I mean, like ultimately, that's kind of where we should have gone. Like I think that like that valley that they're in now is the one that we should have followed.
yeah. Not even that. The intended valley was, if you see the marker on the map called Jangali, there is a nice valley there, pretty flat, with buildings even to make pit stops and to do firefight from. And from there, you have the valley that brings you back to Gamsar. That was what I had in mind. That was the intended path. But since I didn't convey any of that in the briefing, I think that was absolutely not obvious. I should have placed at least ideal path or intended path.
I can't see any of that shit from this map. It just looks like one giant mountain range.
Yeah. If you look to your current east, to where you are right now, there is a valley called Jangali. It's a forest symbol.
Oh yeah.
Well, basically, there you have a nice flat path that goes up the mountain with 3 compound.
Oh yeah.
And that was basically the easiest path to take, because while yes, it was going up in a very smooth way. So even stamina wise, it was easier to deal with. Plus, indeed, the pain actually drains your stamina faster. That was probably one of the best firefights, I think, coming up.
That's the rock formation, right? No.
No,
that's
the rock formation one. The one in the military base.
Yeah.
I think another issue was most of our firefights were long range.
Yes.
And we were running a lot of ammo, but we couldn't loot the enemies because there was always more enemies we were running away from, and they're too far away to loot.
At this
to be
point,
honest, that's one of the insights I'm gonna get from this is, despite what I was initially thinking, I'm gonna still organize a way for you to resupply the ammo related to your proper weapon.
Yeah, this is when I was like, I'm fighting northeast, and you were like, redirect south, and I was like, I don't think I should.
Yeah, I heard Lizzie calling overrun because the guy basically walked on top of you.
Yeah.
it's also when you called out that you're out of ammo, and I'm like, oh cool, I still have like 17 max left.
Jesus Christ, there are a lot going through that woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my idea was to get Blue Team into that building as soon as possible so they could cover us
Poor
across.
Gotai is the second time he gets executed. But yeah.
What were you doing all the way over there?
Getting pounded by 4 people.
That's something.
So here you had the time to resupply, but there were still things coming up, but very slowly from the city. I made them creep, basically.
That's where I got wiped out then.
Yeah, they came up. They were like 10 meters away from you. and from the next town onward, I started to have some problems with the AI. Some of they became less and less responsive for some reason.
Was that an ID next to the car?
Yes, it was. When you pointed out the car over the radio, I thought, yeah, that's true. It's a shady car. I'm gonna place an ID there.
I saw the guy running away and was like, that looks fishy. No one really.
It was a pressure plate. Well, so unless you really walked on top of it, there was no risk of it exploding.
Still, no one really cared about my warning.
I went up and had to relook in the windows.
Yeah.
People came really close. That's probably the second very good firefight there was in that town, and I think that's the mindset you have to get into when playing on this map. Is don't overly rely on the mountains, because that will increase the range of your firefight every single time. Like if you can go down in the valley, use the town, use the road, I think you're better doing so. The AI behave better there, and it will give you better firefights overall.
I mean, there's more cover as well.
And there's more cover.
Like,
the terrain is not that painful to navigate either.
That one
Doesn't
guy.
drain your stamina every time.
Yep.
But it's a
lessons
completely
were
different
learned.
mindset from other maps. Like in Tanoa, you can go up the mountain because there are pathways, there are forests to give you cover, so on and so forth.
Oh, I did kill the tankiness.
Why is there enemies all the way on the other side of the map?
Oh, that was my initially planned mission, but it's for it. When I designed it, it was designed for more people, but it's for the next mission basically.
All right, take mental notes. Where is it placed?
Press this screenshot button.
I take him. Okay, now look closely. Who fired that fucking RPG?
Ouch.
What RPG?
I fired the first one.
Car drives up. We kill the driver. Someone boom.
Yeah, and there was a squad north of Gamma Red as well. Impossible to make them move. They completely broke down at that point.
Can you just delete them and spawn a new one?
I was too focused on Timo Kalai. I only realized that they were not moving while the firefight was nearly over.
First compound. I wasn't even near you.
I was just like full
fucking like
YOLO at this point.
medic ran past me.
I quite like that town as well.
Yeah. I mean, the towns are really good if you're exploiting them correctly.
Just a bit small.